All right, the insight that I have for you after a weekend of nature and sunshine, and I went up to Meadowbrook Farm, which is in Jenkintown, Melinda. It's right near where you'll be. It's wonderful there. It's one of the PHS garden facilities. It's so pretty. And I was up there, and then I felt inspired to kind of garden in my garden, my own personal garden. And I was out back, and I saw I was weeding and kind of like digging things up, and it's so nice to be in nature. And I was thinking just how um, we had planted a garden last year and things are coming back, and also the weeds that I don't want. And I was kind of trying to be very equanimous with what's growing, and um, what we consider beautiful. And then all of a sudden I had like dug up this big earthworm, and the earthworm kind of got like displaced. I pulled out a weed, and the earthworm ended up on the concrete, like by my driveway area, and out of the dirt. And I was watching that thing, and I was like, it is so confused. Like it truly thinks that it is in dirt still, and it's like squirreling around. And I had this whole like mini relationship with this earthworm in the moment, and I was thinking like, should I help it back into the dirt? And I was like, well, no, it'll eventually make its way back into the dirt. And then I was like, what if it doesn't? And what if it dies? And not that I was that emotionally invested in the earthworm, but um, I did figure it was either going to make its way back to the dirt or die. Like it was one of those two things. And and then I was just thinking about how earthworms, in their simplicity, they only know how to do one thing, which is like squiggle around in dirt. So even when they're no longer in dirt, they no longer have that awareness that they're not in the only place they know how to survive. And they end up in this uncharted place, but they do the exact same thing. And in my yoga brain, I was like, this is why we practice yoga, so that we're not doing the same thing. We when we know it's not like the right thing to do, we can recognize when we need to switch gears mentally and kind of do something different. So um, I guess the moral of the story is that we are very much like the earthworm, and we are very, very, very much more evolved than the earthworm. So my invitation to you for class today is to just notice how you switch gears intuitively. And in yoga, you just get a chance to observe that with equanimity, um, that you are always responding to a situation. And hopefully, like if you're doing the same thing, if you're just trying to dig your way through the dirt, but now you're on concrete, and you can recognize that moment of like, actually, this doesn't work for me right now. This is like a beautiful thing to take away from a multi-dimensional practice. When things are easy and challenging and unfamiliar and very familiar, you get to just keep exploring time and time again how it is you respond. Grab your blocks. You'll need two. Um, you'll start on your back, and bring please one block with you. You only need one for a little bit, and then the other one you'll want towards the top of your mat, because we'll get into some hamstrings today. Take your time, please, getting settled. And I promise I will give you instructions about what we're going to activate here and what we're going to explore. But for these first few moments of you settling down onto your mat, finding your way into a position that's comfy, let it be just that. Just observe how it is that you're showing up this evening, carrying the weight of Monday, carrying the weight of the week, carrying the carrying the weight of something that seems time-based, like last month or something, or carrying the weight of something that seems more situationally based, like a move or planning a big event. Just observe yourself with that equanimity of not judging. Notice the relationship of your back body to the earth, especially like the arc of the low back or lack thereof, right? So if your knees are bent, you might have your low back really flush with the ground. That's fine. You don't have to do anything to shift or change right now. If your legs are straight, maybe there is some space in that lumbar, low back area. Notice where your hands landed. And then be just a little bit more deliberate for a few moments. We'll get moving quickly, but before we engage, let yourself do the work of disengaging. Let the muscles of the face start to soften, the space between the brows, the jaw, the tongue, the throat, the shoulders. Just 3 times. Let's take a big breath in together. Either open mouth or closed mouth. Sigh out, let the whole thing go. We'll do 2 more just like that together. Breathe in. Last one, big breath. Very good work. Make sure you have enough space behind you so that if you were to extend your arms up and overhead, you wouldn't um, hit anything. And then bend your knees, please. Put your feet on the floor so they're just underneath the knees, and you can adjust that in a little bit. For now, this will be perfect. Grab your block and hold it on its widest side between the palms. Really push your palms into the block, straighten the arms, and soften your shoulders down onto your back. As you do that, notice if your low back has more of an arch, and can you please draw your ribs in and down, draw your belly in and down, and make your low back very flush with the mat. This is going to get harder in a moment. Squeeze the block again, keep your belly engaged, don't let your low back come up. As you inhale, start to extend the arms overhead. And you'll stop, please, when you notice your shoulders screaming or your low back popping up. Wherever you land is just fine. And then as you exhale, draw your belly in and down to initiate the movement of sending your arms straight up overhead. We'll do that 5 more times. Inhale, extend your arms overhead. Belly draws down as the arms reach up and away. Exhale to initiate movement from the belly to send your arms overhead. 4 more. Really exhale like shh as the arms come up. Yeah, wherever you feel this is right. 3 more. Maybe the block is getting a little closer to the ground behind you as your shoulders kind of light up, wake up. Last 2. Belly draws in and down as the arms extend up and away. Good. Last one. Inhale. Challenge yourself a little bit. See if you can't get the arms to touch down. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Whatever happens is okay. As you exhale, turn the block to its medium width and stick it between the upper inner thighs. Leave that there for a moment. And then without the block, belly draws in and down. Reach your arms up and overhead. Widen your arms, please, enough so that the backs of the hands actually do find the ground. And then as you exhale, belly draws in and down just like we did with the block. As you exhale, skim the earth, draw your elbows in at your sides, just see what happens. Feel the space between the shoulder blades can lift up a little bit, like there was room for a pencil there. As you inhale, send the arms up like a Y shape overhead, belly in and down. Exhale like a W shape with your elbows coming down towards your sides. Belly down, shoulder blades can squeeze together so that that little ridge lifts up. One more, inhale. And exhale, elbows down at your sides. Connect your elbows down, just flip the palms down, push the air away as the forearms come towards the ground parallel to your kind of hips. Then walk your feet a little bit in, scoot your heels closer to your sits bones, squeeze the block that's between your thighs, lift your hips up towards the sky, squeeze the block, squeeze the block, squeeze the block. Lower your hips down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Pulse your hips up and down. 5 more, pulse up for 5, push into the feet, squeeze the block, lift, lower down slowly, lift up for 4, down, squeeze your glutes, squeeze the block for 3, lift up, 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 lower down, lift up for 2. Good, last one, lift the hips up, squeeze the block, push into the inner heel, big toe ball mound, outer heel of your feet. Good, lower the hips down, reach for the block, or actually keep your arms where they are. Float the knees up, knees just over the hips. Extend your arms up and overhead, belly in and down. As you exhale, curl up, reach for the block, take it with your hands. Extend your arms up and overhead, send the legs away. As you exhale, arms and legs meet, switch the block between the feet, arms overhead, legs reach away. Exhale, curl up, take the block in your hands, feet down, arms away. We're gonna do one more pass. Exhale, switch. Inhale, legs down, arms away, belly down, exhale. This time when you have the block in your hands, shift it off to the side, pull your knees into your belly, give yourself a nice low back massage. And then start to create a little bit of momentum so you can rock up and forward to a fold. Oh, let your head hang when you get there. Let your knees bend one at a time. You can shift weight forward, back, side, side. Just feel the whole leg. Good. And then roll your way all the way up to stand. Extend your arms up and overhead. Keep your belly drawn in like you did when you had the block. You are on your belly. As you exhale, hands together in front of your heart. You can look down, walk to the top of the mat, set your feet up. Hips width distance will be just perfect. You can close your eyes when you get there. And listen to the soundtrack of what's around you. Right, engage your senses. Let's move together. Inhale, float the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, a little bend in your knees as you hinge at the hips, fold your way forward. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins for this first round. Push into the shins, find a flat back. Send your sits bones back and up. Rock weight into the balls of your feet. Lengthen the back of your neck, the sides of your neck, soften your shoulders away from your ears, and then send your heart way forward. Breathe here in this halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, soften the knees, put your hands on the floor, step just your right foot back to a lunge. Soften your right knee ever so slightly, not all the way to the ground. Bring your hands to your hips and come up to like a first mini high lunge. Use your hands on your hips to square yourself forward. Hug your inner thighs towards the midline like you did when you had that block. And then bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your low back. And kind of neutralize the pelvis here. Keep breathing the whole time. So your back knee's bent a little bit, my thigh's burning. Without disturbing the pelvis, push your right leg as straight as you possibly can. Kick back through the heel. Feel that thigh stretch. Bend into the knee a little bit. We'll do that 5 more times. You can inhale to push the leg straight, kick through the heel. Exhale to soften the knee. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, soften. Two more, I believe. Good, inhale. Good, exhale, soften the knee. Inhale, find a high lunge in the legs. The arms can stay just as they are. Use the hand that's on your belly to manually scoop the belly in and up. Hinge at the hips, start to fold forward. Keep your belly lifting, lifting, lifting. This feels like a lot of ab work for me. And then release your hands to the ground, step back to high plank. Feel the difference side to side here. Push down into the hands, hug the arm bones towards each other like you had a block between the L's of your hands. Breathe, heart moves forward. Soften your knees to the mat if you'd like. Shift your shoulders forward in line with your fingertips as you exhale. Lower all the way to the ground. Elbows stay close towards your sides. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Take a back bend, baby cobra. If you're ready for something much deeper than that, go right ahead. Exhale, shift up and back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. If you would like to pass through something that looks like child's pose on the way there, go right ahead. We're asymmetrical here for this first down dog. So just notice, feel. Look forward, please. Step your left foot wide of your left hand. And then soften your right knee down. So we just did a bunch of thigh work with that right thigh. Now we'll take this passive stretch with it. Climb your left hand onto your left thigh. Push down into your right hand. Push down into your left hand. So you're active in both. And then you're twisting open to the left. Think about sending the left knee away, like forward. So just churn more from the low belly. Big stretch for the right thigh, feels so good. Notice what's going on with the right hand. Can you open the shoulder even more so you're widening at the collarbone? Good, last breath here, inhale. Exhale, twist, deep S expression. Inhale, unwind, left hand to the mat. I always have to tense up on fingertips for this. You'll step your right foot outside your right hand. Just take a little fold here. You can shift your hips from side to side. And start to toe heel your feet in towards the midline. Roll your way up to stand, arms float up to the sky. We'll do the second side just like the first. As you exhale, keep it moving, dive right back down. Take a halfway lift. Plant your palms. This time step your right foot back to a lunge, please, or left foot back to a lunge, please. When I do it, I notice it right away. I'm like, that does not feel right. Soften your left knee ever so slightly to climb your hands up onto your hips. So you're kind of like bent in both knees. Ooh. Use your hands to square off the hip points. And then try to do opposite. One hand to your low belly, one hand to your low back. And then you're neutralizing what's happening in the torso. So you're not in a back bend, you're not in a forward fold. And we'll do it 5 times. You'll push your left leg straight. It's okay if your thigh is burning a little bit. It's kind of hard. And then soften the knee. So you're keeping the pelvis neutral. You're just stretching the thigh. I have 3 more by my count. Last 2. And 1, keep the leg straight or straight-ish. Breathe. And then you manually draw the belly in and up. As you fold forward, you're really engaging your core. Release your hands down to the mat. Good sounds. Step your right foot back. You're in plank pose. We've been here before. Straight, strong arms. Eyes of the elbows roll forward. Belly is in and up. Option to lower your knees again. Shift forward. Lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Come up for air. baby cobra, medium cobra, shoulders moving away from ears, inner hands heavy. Exhale, come back to dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog. Collect your breath. Right, you're adaptable. You respond to what the situation calls for. And then look forward, step your right foot wide of your right hand. This time, the left knee can come down. Left palm stays down, push on purpose into the hand to lift up out of the shoulder, right hand to right thigh, and then push both hands down. You're just twisting a little bit to the right. With your right hand, think about sending the knee forward. Oh. Churn the weekend out of your low belly there. I had a whole seitan cheesesteak yesterday. Definitely feeling it right now. Good. Last breath in. The exhale is your fullest expression of twist. Really wring yourself out and then unwind, right hand down. You can tent up onto fingertips like I do. And then step your left foot wide of your left hand. Let yourself fold, hang. Good. Now, instead of letting the feet turn out here, use the mat to really parallel the feet. So they'll stay wide, but the inner feet are kind of right lined up with that outer edge of the mat. And then roll your way up to stand. Reach your arms to the sky. Make a fist like you were grabbing onto something and recall the muscle memory of what it's like to draw your belly in and up. As you exhale, goalpost the arms, but like really pull down with your full resistance. Draw your belly in, arms to the sky. We'll do 2 more like that. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Inhale, send them up towards the sky. Last one, exhale, like you're pulling yourself up. Keep your elbows where they are. Spin the forearms so your fists face down, and then hook your arms behind you. Left forearm on top. Doesn't really matter. We're just going to do opposite. So you have opposite elbows, very simple. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Draw your belly in and up as you fold forward and let your head hang down. Good. Release your left arm. Take a hold of your right shin. Release your right arm. Take a hold of your left shin. So you have an X mark. And then bend into your knees. Use your hands to pull the legs towards you. Use the legs to shift the hands away. Feel the outer hips really fire up. Yes. And then roll, straighten your legs. Lift your arms, keep the X. Eagle wrap. The backs of the hands or the palms can touch. Your left arm is under. Stand into your left foot. Hook your right thigh over your left thigh. You might need maneuvering there. Now, instead of a double wrap today, push the blade edge of your right foot into your left, the outside of your left shin, and really activate the legs. Lift your elbows higher. Hollow out your belly. And then slide your left hip crease, your left hip point forward while your right goes back. Breathe in and out. Sit a little lower. Breathe in and out. As you breathe in, you can push the legs straight, untangle the arms, step your right foot back so it's wide on the mat. And exhale, just fold forward. Just feel. Yes, very good. Roll up, arms to the sky. Round 2, like you're holding a bar. Pull the elbows down. Give yourself a lot of resistance. Keep the belly strong. Inhale, push up. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Fists start to pivot down. Left arm slips back, right arm slips back. So this time your right arm, forearm is on top of the left one. Roll your shoulders up and back. Draw your belly in and up, and then like you're folding over something beach ball shaped. Let your head hang. Good. Right arm releases to the left shin. Left arm releases to the right shin. Stay in your forward fold. Bend your knees. Stick your butt back. Pull your legs in with your hands as your legs push out against your hands. Feel your outer hips fire up. And then roll your way up to standing with an X shape in your arms. Backs of the hands or palms touch. Eagle wrap. Stand into your right foot. Left thigh crosses over right. And then instead of the double wrap, blade edge of the foot pushes into the outside of the shin, and you're really active in the legs. Elbows lift up, shoulders plug into your back, belly draws in and up. And then move your right hip, your right waist forward. Good. If you lose it, it's okay. You're not an earthworm. Adapt. No problem. Good. Last breath in and out. An inhale will let you unravel, arms, wide stance, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Toe heel your feet towards the midline here. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Breathe in as you exhale. Come to the belly or take a chaturanga. Inhale for a baby cobra, an upward facing dog. And exhale your way back to downward facing dog. We'll meet there. Take a big breath in. Open your mouth, big breath out. Ha, inhale, float forward, plank pose, please. And exhale to the ground. Untuck your toes. Take a sphinx pose, forearms to the mat. Push into the elbows, lift out of your shoulders. Feel the low back lengthen. Notice if you're tensing up your glutes or if you can kind of soften around the sensation. We'll take a thigh stretch here. Option to keep your arms in sphinx. Option to lower your left forearm so it's more like a pillow for your head. Zipper the inner thighs in towards the midline like you did when you were squeezing a block. Bend your right knee. Reach with your right hand for your right foot. And then do keep finding that squeezing in action of the thighs as you bend your elbow. And gently draw your right heel towards your right sits bone. Thigh stretch here. 3 smooth breaths. Now, you're not an earthworm. So instead of making this all about effort like we've done, where can you soften around the shoulders, the jaw, and just adapt to this moment that doesn't require full effort? Last breath in. And slowly, gently release the leg. Set your right arm so that it's doing something similar to your left. If you're in Sphinx, you'll come back there. Just feel the difference side to side. And then thigh stretch to the left. You can bend your left leg. Then reach around for your left foot with your left hand. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Bend into your left elbow as you draw the left heel closer to the left sits bone. Soften around the edges. Take 2 more breaths here. Just big one in. Soft one out. And then when you feel pretty much done with that, you can let the foot go. Let the forehead come down or the chin come down. Slide your hands in at the low ribs, like you're setting up for a baby cobra. And then we're not going to take a baby cobra, actually. You can tuck your toes, keep your knees down or lift your knees up. We're going to push up, right? So draw your belly in, use the strength of your arms and your core to bring yourself back to plank or modified plank. And exhale, downward facing dog, please. Oh, big breath in, big breath out. Move your head, your neck. Feel what you feel. Look forward, step your right foot forward. Spin your left heel down. Reverse cartwheel your way up to warrior two. Bend into your right knee. As you inhale, extend your arms up overhead. Draw your belly in. As you exhale, goal post your arms like you are pulling yourself up by the strength of your arms. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, goal post the arms. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, cartwheel down. Frame your right foot. Spin up onto the ball of your left foot. Right leg up and back to the sky. Down dog split. Bend your knee, open your hip. Let it feel good. Good. Inhale. Exhale, square your hips, coil your right knee towards your nose. Look forward, step forward. Grab your blocks, please. Set them on either side of your right foot. Skip your left foot in a footprint or two and slightly to the left. Push your your right leg straight. So you're in a pyramid pose. A couple things here. We'll be here for several breaths, so continue to breathe. Anchor your left heel into the mat. And as if your heel was the hand of a clock, think about pushing it towards the outer left corner of your mat. Oh, yes. And then lengthen your right side body. Send your heart forward, please. Keep breathing. Shoulders move away from the ears. Notice your left heel. Did it disengage? Notice your right waist. Did it cinch up? Take one more breath. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend into your right knee. Moment of relief. Step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. Put a little bend in your knees. Roll your way up to stand. And hook your right ankle over your left thigh. Standing figure four. Should feel pretty good right now. Stick your butt back quite a bit. You can use your hand on your knee and your ankle to give a little pressure. Should feel good. Good. And then come to stand. Bring your right knee into your belly. As you exhale, slip the leg back like you're setting up for pyramid on the second side. Just step your right foot back. I don't know, foot and a half, 2 feet, 3 feet, whatever feels good for you. Draw your belly in and up as you fold up and over your left leg. Move your blocks. Soften into your left leg. Plant your palms. Reach your left leg up and back to the sky. And then you're either in standing split on your right leg, or you can take a handstand hop or two. Tent up on your tippy toes of your right foot. Soften into the right knee, belly in and up, arms engaged. Give yourself a kick. Maybe you catch a moment of air. Yes, Lil. Yes, Jody. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. So wherever you are, you're doing wonderful work. Child's pose, always an option in between. We'll call it resting warrior. It's not an out, it's an in, right? It's a moment to reevaluate what's happening here. So take a big breath in, just collect yourself. Exhale, let that all go. Whatever just happened, it's gone, it's over. Take a look towards the top of your mat and step your left foot forward. Right heel comes down as you float up and open to warrior two, your Vajrasana the second. Engage your right leg a lot, all that thigh opening work we did. And then float your arms up towards the sky. Belly stays in and down as you exhale, like you're pulling yourself up on a bar. Inhale, arms to the sky. This time as the arms go up, you'll pause as you exhale. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Down dog split, left leg opens up towards the sky. Keep your right armpit really spacious. And then let the length of your left side body inform the setup for pyramid pose. You'll keep it long. Left knee coils in towards the nose. Look forward and step forward. Grab blocks, please, and then scoot your right foot forward a footprint or two. Let's build this from the ground up. So the whole left foot is on the floor, the inner edge of the foot, the outer edge of the foot, and your right heel is equally digging down into the mat. And think about sliding the heel towards the outer edge of the mat, the right edge. And that, for me, it really sets my hips up more to the right. Lengthen your left side body. Breathing is wonderful. Shoulders soften away from the ears. Right, and you are not a simple being. You are a complicated, complex, multi-dimensional person. So if this moment is not wonderful for you, respond to it appropriately. It's okay to not like it. Just don't judge yourself for not liking it. Take one more breath in. Bend into your left knee. Oh, that sweet moment of release. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Soften your knees a little bit to roll up to stand, and then standing figure four, left ankle crosses over right thigh. Deep bend in the right knee this time. Oh. You can stick your butt back. Oh, feels so good. Come up to stand, left knee into the belly. Shift the leg back like you were setting up for pyramid pose round two. Belly in and up like you're bending over something beach ball like. Plant your palms, remove your blocks. Right leg floats up and back to the sky. So you're either in standing split or option to take some handstand hops, bend into your left knee, claw into your fingertips. And then as the right leg goes up, the arms stay just as active as they were when you were squeezing the block. Good choices, everyone. That looks wonderful. Take one or two more. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. Yeah, it's hard. It's okay. It's okay for us to be in a relationship with the things that's hard. So that's an okay exercise, right? You don't have to flounder around and be really concerned about where your next plot of dirt is coming from, because you have tools, you have skills to handle things that are hard. Float your right leg up and back, please. Keep your hips square. As you exhale, draw the knee to the nose, look forward and step forward. Spin your left heel down. This time, climb your right forearm up to your right thigh and float your left fingertips up for extended side angle pose. Maybe even send the arm overhead to give yourself that divine side body stretch. Make sure your left leg is really active, please. So from the blade edge of your foot out through your fingertips, you're engaged, but at the same time, your right shoulder and your jaw are soft, right? No need to death grip. Take one more breath in. Stay for the breath out. As you inhale, reverse to a straight leg, reverse triangle. Right arm reaches up and back. Enjoy. Take an extra breath here. Collect yourself. When you're ready, inhale to fill up, exhale, bend into the right knee for warrior two. Inhale, just your arms to the sky, your leg stays bent. Exhale, gold post the arms. Inhale and exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground like you were diving into a pool. Right leg to the sky, down dog split. Bend your knee, open your hip. This time, if it feels right to take a little bit of a flip dog, step your right foot behind you and reach your right arm up, up, up and back. Exhale, come back around, right hand to the mat. This time, step your right foot wide of your right hand. Soften your left knee down. Breathe, yes, collect. Collect yourself. Very good. So there's plenty of options here. We took a twist like this right at the beginning. If you want to take another twist, we haven't done too many twists since then, you can do that. If you want to come down onto forearms and give yourself more of a hip stretch, you can absolutely do that. You can also bend into the left knee, reach back for your left foot with your right hand, and give yourself quite a bit of a thigh stretch here. So do please what feels right for you. And that's right, the difference between humans and earthworms. Earthworms all seek dirt. Human beings, some of us seek thigh stretches, some of us seek twists. We're different. We're very different. Good. Bring your hands back to the mat if they aren't there already. Oh, good sounds. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. And then with hands down, just shift your weight back. Right leg can straighten ever so slightly. You can even spin your left heel down from here and take this like really weird triangle shape. Let your hips shift back. Oh, yeah. And then make your way back to dog. We'll do the second side and then we'll chill. Okay, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, step forward. Spin your right heel down, climb your left forearm onto your left thigh, and sweep your right arm up, arc it over. Extended side angle pose. Strong right side body. Right leg is very engaged. But your left side body can soften a little bit. We'll stay here for, let's call it 2 more breaths. And the next time you inhale, make your way to a radiant or reversed triangle pose and settle in there for as many breaths as you need. I'm going to transition. Exhale yourself to a warrior 2. And then we're going to do this quickly. It's going to be fun, like you were diving into a pool. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, pull your elbows down. And then inhale, exhale all the way, hands to the mat. Left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. That flip dog waits for you. Circle back around. Left foot this time steps wide, and you can soften your right knee down. Yeah, we made it. Good. Many options here. Breathe your breath. You have many tools. You have many responses to an unlimited set of circumstances that life can throw at you. And here is where you just observe. You observe, and if you dare, right, advanced practice is choose wisely. What is going to best serve you in this moment? Begin to come out of whatever shape you made your way into. If your right toes aren't tucked, tuck them. Lift the right knee and then pivot the heel down, push your left leg straight, and then walk your hands. For me, it's like a little bit to the right, and then let the hips like really just drop. It's like I'm not trying to do anything. That's just where they want to go. Which feels quite nice. Make your way. Last time, downward facing dog. Yeah. And if there's something final that's calling to you, like one more pass through plank, chaturanga, up dog, any version of that. Do what's right. Let's take one symmetrical camel pose with the knees down on the mat. You can always fold your mat as many times as you need to give yourself plenty of padding for the knees. Stand up on the shins. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Squeeze your shoulders and use your hands to send your hips forward, forward, forward. Use your legs. Squeeze the inner thighs in like you did when you had the block. Lift your heart up. Imagine your hands, like we've done that whole class, like lifting your chest really high to the sky. You're more than welcome to stay right here if it feels right to lower one hand and the second hand onto your ankles, your heels. It's available. Take 2 more breaths. Good. And then wherever you are, if your hands are on your heels, use the strength of your belly to bring yourself up. Tuck the toes. Sit back onto your heels. And just rest for a moment. Just feel whatever comes up. Close your eyes. Very good. And blink your eyes open. Just come to sit, swing your legs around either direction, doesn't matter to me. Straighten your right leg, bend your left knee. So the left foot is inside the right thigh. You can keep the foot and the thigh flush, or you can move the heel closer towards the left. So you have quite a bit of space in between the foot and the thigh. Both options feel good in my body. So maybe you'll find a lot more space in one. Right toes point straight up towards the sky. The right leg's still engaged. Bring your hands onto blocks if they're still within reach. Push down into the blocks, lift the chest up. So you're taking a twist here. If you don't need your blocks, you can ditch them and put your fingertips down on the mat. And walk your hands forward and hand print. Send your heart forward, please, towards your toes. And breathe. Perhaps walk your hands forward, another hand print, and kind of tent up on fingertips. It's like you're drawing your fingertips back as you reach your heart forward. find a stopping point. We're going to turn this into a twist. So with your left hand, reach for the outside of your right leg anywhere. It can be your shin, it can be your ankle, it can be the outside edge of your foot. And then tent up again on your right fingertips. This is isometric, nothing will move in space. Push your fingertips down and then think about sliding the hand away from you. So you feel your right waist glide back. Oh, yes. Two more breaths here. Big breath in to lengthen your spine. And a big breath out to churn from the low belly, twist. Last one, inhale. Good. Unwind. Oh. Keep your right leg straight. Untangle the left leg. Keep your left leg straight. Both toes turn straight up. You're gonna make a tower with your blocks. And let your forehead rest. Keep this active. And then when we do it after the second side, we'll make it really passive. We can soften the knees. But for now, toes are pointing straight up. Your knee pits are like drawing down. That's a thing Claire used to say. And your inner thighs are drawing down. Good. Last breath in here. Let it go. Soften the legs. You can roll your way up, bring your hands behind you, just kind of shake out the legs. Yes. And then bend your right knee. So your right foot comes inside the inner part of the left thigh, or your left heel comes more towards like the center of your seat. You can't see me. You probably can't see anyway, but hopefully that instruction made sense. With or without your blocks, turn to face the left leg, frame the leg with your hands. We'll do this systematically. So your first breath in, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, you can kind of lead your heart over towards your left toes. Walk your hands forward. A handprint maybe. When you find your stopping point, you work there. Inhale, heart moves forward towards your toes. Toes are pointing straight up. And then maybe walk your hands forward, another handprint. Once I'm at my stopping point. Once you are at your stopping point, right hand finds somewhere alongside the outer left leg part. The left fingertips are what's really essential here. So claw into the fingertips and then push down. Nothing moves in space. Think about pushing the ground away. Oh, so your left waist moves back in space. Oh yes, very deep twist. Just take a few breaths here. Good. Last breath in. Exhales the fullest expression of your twist. And unwind through center. Oh boy. This time straighten your right leg. Keep your left leg straight. And maybe bring the legs a little closer towards each other, because this time we're just gonna let the knees drop out to the side, let the feet drop out to the side. Let your spine round. If it still feels right or accessible to make a ledge for your forehead, go ahead and do that. Oh, really savor these moments of relief. When you feel ready, you can stay. You can stay for plenty more time. When you're ready, you can roll yourself up through sit, and we're gonna make that transition all the way down towards supine, lying on your back. Extend your arms up and overhead. Now we haven't done a back bend in quite some time. We did some twisting. It is okay with me if you want to pull your knees in towards your chest and just kind of roll around along the sacrum. We're approaching the end of practice. Um, if you think another supine twist is what would serve you most, you can do that. If you think a happy baby might serve you most, you can do something like that. If you think being in a supported back bend, we did plenty of back bending today, really. You want to slide a block underneath your sacrum and just take a few moments to feel really weightless in your hips. Another option, right? Three options of unlimited options. If you've done something on one side, do that same thing on the second side and create symmetry. Do one final symmetrical shape. And if that means an early Shavasana, that's fine. We'll just end things off with symmetry. Your final rest awaits. When you're ready, you can make your way there. Don't forget about your props, your blocks. You can use them now for something supportive. If you know you'll be cold for Shavasana, grab a blanket. Really set yourself up so that this is truly a moment of rest. Scan yourself a final time before you let yourself drift off. And if there's any parts of you that are being very resistant to rest, invite them to soften. Receive a deeper breath. Let out a soft sound or soft sigh. Allow yourself to gently return before you move, before you let go completely of stillness. Notice each of your senses coming back, your sense of touch, what it's like to feel the air on your skin, your clothes on your skin. You notice any smells, sounds. Notice the taste in your mouth. And when you're ready, you can keep the eyes closed and just see what you see anyway. If you want to let a little light in and just notice. Begin to transition up to a seated position where we'll end together. From your seat, stretch up as tall as you possibly can. All this space you created in your spine. Notice the softening of the ears or the shoulders away from the ears. And you can bring your hands together in front of your heart, bow your chin to your chest in a gesture of reverence to yourself for showing up in this space, for taking on this practice. I thank you all so, so much for being here. It is always my pleasure.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon.